Hello, welcome to the well. Maria from Bloom, Angela from Grounded Dreamers. So let's pause and just take a moment to feel into where you are in this moment, how you're being, what you're bringing into the reading. Just pause and check in. And as you exhale, let go of stress, let go of whatever else is kind of coming in that you are feeling called to release. And just be here now. All right.
Okay, so we're coming out of a couple of weeks of our kind of learning to grow from, rise from our ashes, or
Rising Phoenix.
rise as like the phoenix, or transform our difficulties into a healing experience is, I think, what we talked about last week. Now we're ready for that fresh start. Now the first card I pulled is Spirit Keeper of the East. This is the rising sun. This is a fresh new day. It's calling on you to stretch yourself forward now. It's time for forward motion. The healing has taken place. We've got all our parts. Remember, a few weeks back, we took the old stuff that isn't working for us and we let it rest in the soil and kind of rot away and become fertilizer for our growth.
Regenerate.
Happening, right? The regenerative. Now it's time to take that and with this like sort of forward reaching vibration and the knowledge or the realization that the past doesn't need to be repeated, right? We've done the lesson. Now we're actively healing this so that we can create this fresh start. So that's the energy we start with for this reading today, which I love. Underneath it, anchoring that vibration, the Zen card, the tarot card that I pulled is postponement. So that waiting period is over, right? It's time now. This figure's, in the gray foreground, and the background there is colorful, and it feels like I'll never get to where I want to be. But this is the time to step through into that fresh start, into that colorful experience and start to create. Then I pulled, the next card I got was Eagle Medicine. This is your higher perspective. This is that sort of profound connection to spirit, to the creator, and always keeping that higher vibration and that sort of wide angle view awakened and alive and ready to really plot your way forward. You have the support of spirit at all times, and this is a reminder of that as you set forth to your next level. We talk about this fresh start. It could be in your waking world. It could be a tangible project, or a new home, or a new level in your relationship, or a new relationship. But it could also be a fresh start in your soul, like in your spirit, and the way it connects to your persona, and that whole alignment, and making sure that I'm going to move forward now with less tendency to feel envious, or whatever you want to transform within yourself.
Resentment, regret.
And it reminds us that we are the creator of everything, of every experience that we have created in concert with spirit, in order for us to grow. There, the lessons and the tough spaces come for our growth at all times. And being reminded of that kind of empowers you to start to make deliberate choices going forward. And as you grow, you leave behind more and more of that sort of nitty-gritty, egocentric way of seeing life, into a much wider, much ease-filled perspective, like almost like the world is at my feet kind of a vibe, which it always really is, but we tend to get stuck in our heads and in our own personal world. But this is an opportunity to take on all that we're learning forward into the next thing that we want to create. And the next thing I pulled is energy healing. And this is Merlin. This is the card of, magic, but with wisdom, right?
grounded in
keeping
wisdom.
the wisdom with you, yeah, to help to heal, transform, and move forward, and continue on that path. Underneath that, I pulled transformation, so they go together. This is like your acknowledgement that all these, even if it feels like trials and tribulations, they're happening for you. And the more clearly you get that, and the more you align with that concept that even the tough stuff is happening for my growth, that's where it really can start to exponentially move you forward. When you realize, okay, I'm not going to get sunk down by this obstacle. I'm going to take a step back and see, how can I learn from this? How can I get to the other side of it? What is my best plan of action? And it may change with every obstacle that arises. You might want to
use it as a catalyst for growth.
Always, yeah. Always use it as a catalyst for growth in different ways. You may want to, forge ahead and stomp all over the obstacle and say, oh, that was nothing. Or you might want to pause and kind of let things play out a little bit, especially if there's someone else involved. Kind of let things play out and see where you can take, active measures to move yourself through to the healing and the transformation. But yeah, always, that's the that's underneath everything that what we're encountering, is that healing energy and transformation always. And then the last two cards in this set I pulled are freedom. So with this knowledge and with this forward motion, I'm actively going to move to a new phase of my life. And I know that the choices I make are creating my experience. And even the obstacles are for my growth, right? All of that knowledge now, there is a sense of freedom in that. Now you realize, oh, wait, like things aren't just happening to me, right? Like that I'm the victim here in this life and all this stuff. It's how I actively respond to it that matters. And that's where your freedom is, because you get to choose that. And then the final card is the adventure card. And we know we love this card. This is that little figure that moves eagerly toward the next thing, even though she doesn't really know what to expect, right? She's kind of in the darkness, in the forest, and she sees that light and wants to move toward it without really knowing what's there. But it's like, let's go, right? Let's just go.
Yeah, let's go. Right. Yeah. And thinking about the eagle medicine, and last week we had the owl medicine, and the week before that we had the medicine bag, right? And the adventure card, her experience of adventure into the light came through last weekend as well. So I feel like we're being kind of guided to draw on our resource from our inner medicine and the medicine of nature
and our connection to spirit as well.
Yeah.
It's all part of our repertoire, if you will.
And last week you were pointing out how the owl is the I think you were saying the eagle of the night.
The eagle, yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. And then eagle medicine came through this. Yeah, the night eagle. Yeah. So beautiful the way that we're being guided to shift towards these perspectives that allow us to live in a completely new paradigm. And that's really what transformation is. It's not just things are getting a little different or a little better. They're like different paradigm, different way of being. So just invite everyone
to more, you have more knowledge, and you can't unknow it. So
no, and the regenerate. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, from that level of knowledge that you now have, right? As you let the other, I guess, the things that didn't work out, or the things that weren't working, or the extra baggage, you let that become the fertilizer. And now you're on another level. Like, you never have to go back. The past doesn't have to repeat itself, because you know more, and you can't unknow it. So take that and go. Yeah.
And let that regenerate your new beginning, your new being, your soul's regeneration journey. And so let's take a moment to pause and just breathe and be with what you see for yourself in this reading. calling upon your inner magic to create from, and to really see whatever is emerging in your field is yours, yours to create with. So let's go into the second part of the reading.
Okay, so now we get to, really raise our vibration a little more here in this next part. I've got offerings. This is your sense of gratitude, your sharing your knowledge, sharing with others, acknowledging to spirit that your life is on its perfect path with the perfect timing, and feeling grateful for that. And that's, it is kind of the secret to living a joy-filled life is gratitude. And we hear that, and it sounds a little, elementary or a little bit, oh, that's a little cliche or whatever, but it's the truth. And the more you can practice what is good, practice focusing on what is good and what is working, you'll get more and more of that, right? What you focus on, you feed. So we got next after that, shift your way to new potential. So this is your reminder that, even in your moments of gratitude and you feel buoyed by that, you're not going to just jump into this I'm all gratitude vibration all the time, right? We're still human. We still have real life obstacles and problems to contend with. But every little win is amassing for you in sort of an energetic way to carry you forward into more. So remember, we're not going to leap into one better way, but we can make shifts daily, in several times a day. You can make energetic shifts toward that newness. Then I got priorities, and this is your opportunity now. Remember, we started this off with fresh start. Let's get going. Let's move into my new phase. Let's begin to create again. And you get, the opportunity with that eagle eye view, with this eagle medicine vibration, with a bigger picture in mind. You get to pick and choose. Okay, what do I focus on first? What do I focus on next? What are the most important things to me as I go forward here? Is it staying aligned with my integrity intact? Is it being connected and making sure I'm connected with others? Like, what is the vibration here that I want to go for? And then also the real world logistical priorities that need to be put in place too. Approaching that with a gratitude mindset helps for everything to become more clear.
Yeah.
And then you realize you're choosing who you're becoming. Yeah. You're choosing in every moment who you are becoming. That's
in what we prioritize, right? Every choice.
Every choice is now, right? That goes with this creator vibe too. You're creating the experience. You're choosing it. Less being beholden to outside circumstances, and more it's an inner job first, right? Let me move my energy toward it. Let me create enough gratitude in my body and in my spirit so that propels me or lets me flow forward in a more easeful way. You're choosing that, and it's a beautiful reminder. And then I got the knowing card, and this is that sense of I got this no matter what. Remember, the figure is shrouded in clouds. Like, maybe it's not very, like, as you're maybe using your eagle medicine card and setting your priorities, maybe every step isn't clear. Every single step isn't clear. But with the right energy on board, you have the sense of knowing that it's working out for me. Even though I can't see the last 10 steps toward my goal, I know I'm heading there. So that's where that sort of resting in that knowing energy helps you to it helps you to sort of soften the hard edges that come about, which are part of real life, you know, the tough spaces. I still know I'm not going to let go of what I know. I'm not going to let go of that dream that I'm creating. Then we're reminded again of our gratitude. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, stop and smell the gratitude
Mhm.
every chance you can. It's just
Mm.
a reinforcement of the earlier card. It comes right after the knowing, and then combining the two. Yeah, I know it's working out, and look at all the things that are working out right here, right now, and that have worked out for me. I'm going to focus on that in order to bring me forward. What that
Totally.
does is it lifts the cloud, the veil,
Mhm.
you know, peels away, and your clarity and your awareness and your knowing becomes something that you can actually apply into
Yeah.
your world. And then, as we started with the fresh start, we're ending this reading with the fresh start of the Fool. You
Mhm.
know, just go. The Fool reminds me a lot of this adventure card, that they're both just kind of going for it. It's like, don't worry about, you know, every single little detail. Let me take the leap. Let me go into the unknown,
Yeah.
really, and let the universe take me, you know, support me and take me on this ride. As I'm planted with my feet on the earth and making my plans, I can still have that sort of, you know, the energy of me could feel like I'm taking a risk or taking a leap,
Yeah.
and I will be supported, you know, the whole way, because I know it's working out.
Yeah, and something that helps me in that journey is remembering all of the times in the past when it has worked out. And that helps me deepen my knowing that I can trust the unfoldment of it going forward. And I encourage I encourage people to do that. Make a journal, remember, make it a priority to remember the ways things have unfolded, the ways things have magically occurred, mystically, magically occurred. Because in those moments when we don't know, it can feel very scary. And if we remember those times, it can help us build a foundation of trust that we can be that full and allow that trust fall to happen, that leap of faith, right?
Always. And if you're really staying in that energy of the eagle, where
Eagle.
the
Yeah.
connection to source, if you keep that open and just know the creator, spirit, the divine, God, whatever your word is for that energy,
Yeah,
that is carrying you forward. And
it is.
when something happens in your real world that feels like a no, like
Yeah.
it's nope, it's not going to work, you in spirit kind of just really know that just means wait. Like, that's not
Pause.
the right opportunity at this moment. If the no comes and it's defeating and makes you feel, sad and oh my gosh, and like a defeatist, just
Mhm.
know, okay, that doesn't mean it's over. It
Yeah.
just means wait for the right
Yeah.
opportunity to come, because it's on its
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. Not now, or yeah, totally. Yeah. And again, prioritizing is so critical, and choosing what we prioritize, where we allow our awareness to go and our attention to go, is so critical. I mean, there's so many things that we could choose to look at or prioritize that can reinforce how awful the world is and how scary things are and how we shouldn't do anything outside of what we can immediately see and touch. And I mean, that's a recipe for a very, very small life, right? And
So you
so
can
what
look,
we
go ahead.
no, just what we orient towards is so critical, and what we look for, right? If we're looking for what's awful, guess what? We're going to find what's awful, right? If we look for what's alive and beautiful, guess what we're going to find? What's alive and what's beautiful. Yeah, there are horrible things going on in the world. And even in that, there's the potential for transformation. So anyway, just some thoughts about that. So powerful. What were you going to say?
The same thing, like at the same time there's horrible things going on, there's also really beautiful, wonderful things going on, life affirming, growth, connective. There, it's all part of the tapestry. Just like in
Yes.
our own life journey, we've had all of it, right? We've
Yes.
had
All of
heartache
it.
and grief and joy and hope and wonder and sadness. We've had it all. That's
Yes.
the point. That's the point of life, is to experience all those things and continue to evolve because of it. Right?
And
Not
rise.
spite of it, but it's buoying you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But because, and last week, I think the first card was arise, right? And so that's been this journey of like just continuing to arise. And so just encourage everybody to take a moment to pause and think about how this reading applies to your life right now and what your intention is for this week. And I encourage you to prioritize focusing consciously on what's going to forward your experience, forward your life, forward your growth. Yeah, and so it is. All right. Well, gratitude, right? As
Keep
usual.
it on board.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.